Okay, greetings everyone. Welcome to Gerard, Black in the Philippines with the truth. I want to welcome you to my channel, all my subscribers, all my commenters, all my peaches, triggers, lovers, haters, and scallywags. Each and every one of you, I want to welcome you to my channel. Well, today is Friday. It's a glorious day here in the Philippines, let me tell you. And then, I was thinking about motherhood here in the Philippines compared to motherhood in the U.S. I can't say so much about comparing the motherhood in the U.S. because when I had my first child, there was question if the child was actually mine. There was a maybe baby. To make a long story short, it wasn't until I lifted up my glasses and looked, and I saw my mother's cheekbones, I saw my mother's lips, I saw my mother's forehead, and I said, I'm claiming this baby. And if this baby, if God chose you to be the mother of my kids, I wanted to have two. I didn't want to just have one. I didn't want to be a single parent because I knew the handwritings on the wall that it'd probably be taken away from me, in a sense of be turned against me or whatever like that, and I was right. So I told her she would get pregnant again after that one. She said no. I said yes, you are, and I got her pregnant, and I had my daughter Janelle. Here they are here, Gianna and Janelle. During this time in my life, I was living in San Francisco, and I had my photography business going on and all that stuff. And I also was a manager of a couple of girls. And I had moved to Los Angeles to study at Columbia College of Broadcasting because I wanted to be an engineer. I wanted to work TV cameras. That's what I wanted to do. So when we got to LA, I was a black and white lab technician, so I was able to land a job. And the VA was taking a long time in transferring my money, so we were kind of like, not hard time. At this time, Diana was pregnant. And so what happened was that during this time, Diana worked doing window displays. She found a boutique and she changed the window display, once a week plus work as a sales girl. So she had a good job. Diana's very creative. Like I said, when I saw her talent when she moved in, I incorporated her talent into my photography, and we did album covers. Well, that was happening. But anyway, so she had a girlfriend working there. Her name was Leah. And Leah was a pharmacist. And I've had experience being a pharmacist in the past. It wasn't something I was thinking about doing, but I needed the money, so I decided to try my hand at being a pharmacist. To make a long story even longer, at this time, while going to Columbia College of Broadcasting, my freelance publicity photography took off. Thanks to Bonnie Hilton Sweeney, who was the founder of the pre-Grammy party, and I became a personal photographer, including one of the personal photographers of the Godfather soul, Mr. James Brown. And so, because she was very well established as a publicist, if you were having a party in LA and you wanted A-listers to come, she would be putting your list together. She also worked for Playboy, so she had a lot of experience in doing that. And she formed the pre-Grammy party. But anyway, because of my business was so demanding, I didn't finish my course at Columbia College of Broadcasting. So I'm going through all this and whatever, and I'm doing what I'm doing. And I decided, I seen freebasing, and I said I would try it, when I reached my goal, because I had a goal, to make $5,000 and stop. Because that's one of the formulas about doing that is that setting a goal of how much you're going to make and knowing when to stop. If you don't have those two things together, then chances are you're not going to be successful at what you're doing when it comes to being a pharmacist. And I made a commitment to myself that I would try it once I stopped, being a pharmacist. I got busted. I was up at Billy Preston's ranch. They took Diana to jail. She was 8 months pregnant, and I was terrified that she was going to have the baby in jail. And a friend of mine called me at Billy's ranch and said, "Gerard, they just raided your place." So I called the detective and said, "Look, let her go. It's not her you want. It's me you want." So we went and turned myself in, and that Monday they let us out. They didn't find nothing. They found my scale and my notes. I kept my scale in the loft, and my notes I always wrote down on this big calendar, so they had that. So they said, "Oh yeah, here's where you sold X amount. Here's where you sold this is how much you make and all that stuff." So valuable lesson I learned about writing things down. So at this time, because I was going to all the parties and all that stuff, and I wanted Diana to come, she didn't want to come. She had decided that she wasn't going to be blindsided or starstruck as I was in Hollywood. And this is what made her a good mother, because this is what we talk about motherhood. She wanted to stay home and take care of the babies. At this time we had 2. Now, before I met the mother of my kids, she was also doing drugs and all that stuff. But when she got pregnant, she turned her life around. She didn't want to do nothing. She wanted to have a clean body and create a clean environment for the children. And that's what, in my mind, made her the best mother possible that God could have given me. Because at this time, she had decided that she wasn't going to work anymore, that she was going to start her own business at home, and this way she would be with the children to the age of 5 till they went to school. And she did that. She opened up a daycare center, and everything worked fine. And me, on the other hand, I was off the chain. When I can go, I want you to now let your imagination know what was going on. So, okay, David, I'll tell you. So, I'll tell you one story. Once I got sprung, I remember this guy saying, I tried it with. He said, "Look, I got Gerard sprung," and you can see it in my eyes that it hit me, and that I was off the races. Everything I had saved and everything I spent, whatever it is. But with the children, I never spent any true quality time with my kids. I didn't spend time with them because, I was either moving too fast or trying to be a pharmacist, all this stuff, what have you. And so the only time I really spent with them was when I would take them for rides with me when I would go move too fast. And I would leave them in the car while I went inside, did what I wanted to do for as long as I wanted to do it, and came out and took them home. And, although we did, I did have a good bond with them, they loved me to death. And, I knew I wasn't there for them 101%. I moved around the corner from where I was at because at this time I had decided I was in recovery for a year, and they informed me that, "Look, Gerard, for you to really be in recovery, you have to take care of your own responsibilities." So, which means stop having my payroll check made out to the mother of my kids' name. So when I did that, Diana said, "No, if you do that, you got to move." So I said, "Okay, fine, I moved." So I moved around the corner and things like that. And one day I got a phone call, and she had said, "Janelle is missing." I said, "What do you mean Janelle is missing?"
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you? I said, "What do you mean Janelle is missing?" She said, "We can't find her." So I went around the corner, and we all started looking. We had to search for her. And the thought that someone had taken my child or Diana wasn't watching them, I mean, it was so overwhelming that it hurt. Come to find out that there was a post office between my house and Diana's house, and that's where she went. And it turned out that when they took her inside, they asked her where was she going. She was saying, "I'm going to go see my daddy." And it was so touching that she decided to walk the block. She was only like about 3, maybe 3, 2 or 3, that she was going to go to her daddy's house. Because I used to have them on weekends and all that stuff. So anyway, I'm telling you all this because, as everything grew and as I got older, I knew Diana was a good mother. I knew she was a good mother. She just hated her father because of what we went through. And that hatred passed on to my daughters. So, I lost that communication with my daughters due to that. My youngest daughter ultimately came back and she apologized for the stuff that she put me through and all that stuff and what have you. But anyway, I am grateful that now I have another chance at it. I have another chance at being a father. I have another chance at, having a child. And having a child the right way. What I mean by the right way means, I got married, I believe life begins when you get married and make a decision to have a child, to bring a child into this world. That's when life should really begin, Now, I've had girls here in the Philippines, 2 in particular, who wanted to have my child. One of them, it was like she was obsessed with it. And when that point came, I had to push her off, get off of me, because I knew what she was trying to do. So anyway, when one of the criteria for me and I was married was that I have a child, and she agreed to that. So of course, when we got married, we went on to try to have a child. And I don't know, 3 months passed by, she wasn't pregnant. So, well, what's wrong with you? No, what's wrong with you? And nothing wrong with me, nothing wrong with me. Something's wrong with you, something's wrong with you. So, we start pointing the fingers at, I'm thinking, maybe I'm shooting blanks, But it turned out that she did get pregnant. So that was good. So anyway, Duchess is here now. And I watched Mia, and I think that same thing I thought about Diana, that God could not have given me a better mother to have my child. She's very attentive, she's very hands-on, she doesn't ask anything of me, except every now and then, just hold it for a minute, She really doesn't want to let her out of her sight or anything like this, and that's good, so I'm very happy. I'm very blessed that I have a mother that is really hands-on or really attentive to the child. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to watch her, interact with Duchess. And the most important thing is that, she's watching how I interact with her, saying to her, talking to her, playing music for her. That a lot of the time they learn by osmosis, and this is what's happening. She's learning, I guess my ways and incorporating with her ways, and it makes for a beautiful thing. So I am so blessed that I have a woman like Mia as the mother of my child. I can't imagine, how it might be if the wrong woman was the mother of my kids. Sometimes it's the dislike for the father that the child is treated bad or whatever. But there's so much love around my daughter that it's unbelievable, and I'm happy to have that unconditional love. Sometimes she cries and cries, and I'm the only one to quiet her down. So sometimes she cries and cries, and she wants to go somewhere else. But everybody else wants to walk her, and I don't walk her. I hold her. I'm too old to be doing all this walking, holding her. So, but it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I look at her, and and now she's, really gaining full control over her eyes, where she can look at where the sound's coming from or whatever she wants, and I'm just full of anticipation for when she can walk and when she can talk. And you know what? Now that I think of it, I shouldn't be in such a hurry for that to happen, and just enjoy her and watching her grow. She's getting heavy. She's heavier now, longer now, and it's just wonderful, man. It's just wonderful having having a child, and so I'm very blessed to have that child and that unconditional love here in the Philippines. One of the most interesting things is that you're not open up to all of the so-called things you need or so-called things for the child, and she's not, she's very simplistic. Mia doesn't come from a wealthy family, but she comes from a well-to-do family. All the kids are well balanced. All of them are very respectful. One thing here in the Philippines, my bulldog. One thing here in the Philippines is that you don't see a lot of snotty-nosed kids. All the kids seem to be well taken care of. You might come across one or two of them that are sticky when you touch them, But be that as it may, that's not so bad. Very seldom happens. But anyway, okay, I wanted to put this little video in here, just talking about how grateful I am, and to actually, taking more of a hands-on with my child, and it's a wonderful feeling. It's something that sometimes I look at it and it brings tears to my eyes. Knowing that this is my child. And, it's interesting. I used to say I have more yesterdays than I have tomorrows, referring to my age. Now I can look at her and say I have more I can look at her and say I have more tomorrows than I have yesterdays, because she's only 2 months old. So if God's willing, I have a lot more than 2 months, 3 months, or years with Duchess. So it's good to know that I have more tomorrows with my daughter than yesterdays. Okay, this is Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. Remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect the elder or pull someone up. And sometimes you're the only one to see it. And the best revenge in life is to live good. I'm living good today. I hope you are too. And if you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ollie Woodson, former lead singer of the Temptation One summer, treat her like a lady. And ladies, if you guys make sure it's recording, and ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, make him feel like a king and never say no. And God bless all the fathers, who are doing it right. I'll always talk to you.